Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I knew you could not live without me a second longer, even though I just uploaded a video that I made on the east side. If you haven't looked at that video yet, and you do look at it, I'll walk you through a little bit of it. Okay, first of all, I think I mentioned the Roost first off, and I stopped and said there's the Roost. A lot of fun was had there. A long time ago, okay, Scooter, our friend Scooter, we called him Scooter Dobbs, but his real name was Scott Campbell, and his parents were Maisie and Glenn, and, my brother and Scooter were best friends for life since super young, and Scooter passed Scooter's dad. So, Blaney back in the day got into some things he shouldn't have. I told this story before, but I'll say it again. Mother and Jill wanted to go spy on Blaine and catch him like doing drugs or whatever. And I don't know if they were positioned across from the Roost or what, but they managed to get on top of a hill, and they're like, almost like a military operation where they're crawling on their bellies. Trying to catch a glimpse of Blaine sniffing glue or whatever the hell he was doing. And my sister, they started giggling just like I did there because the thought of it is hilarious. Jill wet her pants, and Mother said, oh, for God's sakes, I have to take my granddaughter home to change her clothes. I think so they changed and went back. So anyhow, then after we did okay, so the Roost was there. My brother used to go there all the time, blah, blah, blah. Then when I moved back from Houston, my mother used to joke and say that I slept around. She didn't mean it really that way, but like that I would stay at this house, stay at the other house. I lived officially, and I don't know why I said I lived officially in Conneautville, where I cover those meetings with my friends Gary and Penny Clark. Gary passed away a couple years ago. I might have mentioned it. Okay, and Penny and I graduated school together. I've known her for life. But it was like 12 miles away, and I was quite the party girl back then. I didn't want to be driving around, after being sloshed. I'm being invited to something on Friday night. I think I might go. So I would, stay here, there, and everywhere. And Scooter's place is where I stayed quite a bit. And one night, I was pretty tipsy. We went out to this bar called the Nighthawks. I forgot the name of it. It's still there. Still at the north end of the lake. And I went back to the Roost because I was like I had way too much to drink and everything and blah, blah, blah. Scooter got totally mad at me because here he was picking up his, he was going to hook up with his childhood sweetheart from high school or some crap. He's literally calling me over there saying that I had to get out and stuff. I did not get out, ladies and gentlemen. I stayed. I think, or did I go home? I don't remember, but all I know is Scooter was highly upset and said, well, I guess I'll just have to work around you. I'm sure there was an upstairs with like 3 bedrooms. It's not like, he had to do something down where I was. I don't know if I left that night or not. I might have sobered up and just gone right back to Conneautville. I don't recall. Okay, so this is a lovely tour of the east side so far. And then whenever I rounded the bend and went up and was trying to show you that house, if you haven't looked, it's in the middle of the frame totally. It's called Out of Space, and it used to have moss on the roof. They've done quite a good there. Spencer was conceived there. My husband and I lived there for a little bit after we first got married, and then we moved into this place. So, yeah, isn't that exciting? Spencer was conceived on the east side at, in the Out of Space cottage. I'm sure you had to know that. I'm sure Spencer will be delighted to hear that as well. Then what else? Oh, yeah, I am going to call Madeline Watson and see if someday I can flop over there to her, dock or front yard or what have you, because she has a pretty good, area there where I can do some filming of lake festivities and whatnot, just to keep you interested in this video series, ladies and gentlemen. After all, I can't just sit here on the porch all the time and bloviate, now can I? Okay, I voted for 2 people. John Fetterman, like I said, and then Chris Seeley, even though he was running undefeated. I like Chris Seeley, and I wanted him to get a lot of votes, even though he didn't have anyone else. I almost wrote myself in against some people, but I'm not going to do that. Wouldn't that be funny if I did and somehow I won? Oh, my God. Hysterical. Okay. That's all, really. Just thought I'd give you a tour after the fact. Because, just give you some little anecdotal, goofy stuff that went on over there. And the sled riding and, oh, just so many things. The east side was the place to be. I've mentioned this before, but I do have new loungers. Where, everybody, the east side was like totally cool and wonderful. It must be close to 8 o'clock. I'm getting a hot flash. It was just like riding the bus to go over to the east side after school was a big deal. And the drive-in theater was over there, and they had a little Vans. I think it was called Vans, a little convenience store where you could, go up there for 50 cents and get all kinds of candy and stuff. And it was just the place to be, ladies and gentlemen. All the cool kids lived on the east side. It's probably where I first smoked cigarettes, I think, and maybe marijuana. back in the old days when I would experiment with such devilish things. I'm done. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others, drop your political identities, let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door, research before you judge. Remember that war is a racket. I'm sorry I have to continue. I cannot out this person, but a friend of mine since high school, who might be my neighbor, not my mother, got me stoned for the first time, and it was really funny because she is now very much like a television sitcom mom. Makes home-cooked, fresh, delightful meals every night. Wouldn't dream of doing anything, like smoking pot or any of that jazz. And here she got several people involved in the marijuana culture, I'm sure. So she just thinks it's funny herself that here she is, extremely straight-laced now, a church-going woman. And, she turned a lot of people on to marijuana, which, good for her, because there's nothing wrong with doing it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, there isn't. Love you.